Hello, beautiful souls. It's Emily with Twins in Union. I hope that you are all doing well. Today is March 1st, so we have made it through the first 2 months of 2018 already, and I cannot believe how quickly this year is flying by. But here we are. It is March 1st, and we have a full moon in Virgo. So I have a Twin Flame Collective reading for us here, so we can take a deeper look at some of these energies and our connections. And as always, I just want to say thank you so much to all of my new subscribers, and thank you all to my loyal subscribers. And as always, I'm just really enjoying connecting with all of you, and I truly appreciate all of your wonderful, kind, amazing comments. You guys always make my day, and it really lifts my spirits. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, so I will get into some of these March energies and this full moon energy too. So March is going to be a very highly transformative month for us. We had 2 full moons in January, and then we had no full moon in February. And then in March, we have 2 full moons again. So that's very rare to have a blue moon, with 1 month and then skip a month and then another blue moon. So the energies are really supporting us in going through major transformation right now. And that eclipse that we had in January, January 31st, along with that blue moon, that really ignited a lot of things that needed to come up from the past to be released. So February was a really big month for releasing the past, letting go of, the heartbreak and the pain and, past events that were kind of still hanging with us that we needed to release. And now with March, we are moving into a new place of compassion and forgiveness, and really solidifying all of that past energy that we have let go of, and we are starting to move into a more present awareness, aligning with the present. And March is, it's a number 3 month in terms of the calendar year, so it's going to be a month of communication and expansion and creativity. And it's also a number 5 universal month. And, 5 is transformation and change. And I'm seeing that a lot in the cards. I was counting, and I think, let's see, there's like 5 number 5 cards. And then we also have another card that's a big indicator of change. And we are approaching the spring equinox, so we have a seasonal change happening too. So lots of change, lots of transformation, and Virgo is an earth sign, and it's a mutable earth sign. So it's about really tuning into your physical body, and also about moving your physical body. So as we are coming out of hibernation and, re-emerging after the deep winter, this is a really great time to start getting into that physical body movement, that physical exercise. And for some reason, over the past couple of weeks, my guides keep sending me the image of a scene from Grease, the movie Grease. And it's the scene at the very end when the main characters, Sandy and Danny, they, come back together, and they have both gone through major transformation, And basically they have flip-flopped. So Danny has moved out of being, kind of the rebel leather jacket wearing, masculine figure. And Sandy moves into a place of going from the really pure, prim, proper, studious, feminine, and she transforms into the more rebellious, wearing the tight black leather pants and smoking a cigarette, So she's transformed, into more of a version of like what Danny was. So it's like they've kind of flip-flopped. And so the guidance that I was getting from that is that the divine feminine is really moving into a place of really grounding physically and, focusing more on her 3D world. And the divine masculine is now opening up more spiritually and starting to awaken more to his spiritual gifts and to his creativity. And so I'm seeing some of that in the cards here. So I just felt guided to share that. I think, there's really beautiful energies of transformation taking place for us and kind of some role reversal happening. So anyway, this Virgo full moon is also highly influenced with Pisces. We have Pisces at 11 degrees, and then Virgo is also at 11 degrees. So it's creating, like an 11-11 portal that we will be moving through. I'm just looking at my notes here. And so with the Pisces influence, that is really going to, thin the veil and open us up to higher levels of consciousness. And it's going to allow us to receive a lot of downloads of information and really bring that into the physical. So this is a really good time to balance out, physical body movement with some meditation, or while you are, exercising at the gym or on your nature walk or whatever, doing your yoga. Set the intention to open yourself up to receive downloads as you are physically moving your body, and just, see what comes up, what information you're receiving. If you have health challenges and you're wanting more guidance around that, this is also a really great time to dialogue with your physical body and just ask to receive higher wisdom and higher knowledge and guidance about, what does your body need? It could be as simple as, what nutrition does your body need? What foods does your body need that day? Or maybe it's about, what types of physical movement are best for your body. So really work on bringing awareness to your physical body and noticing what guidance is coming to you about how you can take care of your physical body. Let's see. Looking at my notes here. Okay, so this is going to be a time where we really need to look at what in our lives need to be changed. So, this could be around your exercise regimen, or what habits do you need to let go of in order to move forward. And also looking at opportunities, looking at any challenges that come up as opportunities to create positive change. March is going to be a lot of heart expansion and cultivating compassion, and it's also a lot of sensitive communication. So, if there are challenges that come up, try to see them as an opportunity to create positive change and start expanding your thinking and your awareness as to new creative solutions to help you create positive change. Also, as far as Ascension symptoms, I have been experiencing a lot of stuff like with my head area. One day I felt like I just had a helmet on really tight, and one day I had like this weird, like, it felt like a tickle up here on my forehead, and then my eye was twitching, and a lot of it's been on my left side of my body, which is the feminine side. So yeah, I've been having a lot of weird like eye twitching going on, and even like a little muscle cramp under my eyeball. And let's see, what was the other thing? Oh, ringing in my ears. I've had some pain, like just achiness in my hips, and then a lot going on with my left foot, just like achy pain, kind of stuff. Like it felt like a big bruise was under my heel, but I couldn't think of anything that I would have done to make it bruised. So just, notice little things that are happening with your body, and, most likely it's Ascension, but I feel like there's a lot of 6th chakra stuff going on. I've also been having like those really powerful sneezes, like blow the house down kind of sneezes. So that's all that 6th chakra opening up, the sinus stuff, eye twitching. So yeah, just, pay attention to what's happening with your body and what chakra it's associated with, and then that can give you more insight as far as, what Ascension symptoms you're having. And yeah, it's a great time to, start thinking about how you can take better care of your body and nourish your body, and, move into this new season and this new cycle. And yeah, so I think that pretty much covers my little energy update for March. And so yeah, with that, I will turn the camera towards the cards, and we can dive into the reading and look more closely at what energies are happening. And so this reading is looking at the energies for this full moon in Virgo, and it is leading up to the new moon in Pisces. So, roughly a couple of weeks as far as like the time frame. And as always, I set the intention for this reading to be for the highest good of all twin flames, the highest good for you and your divine partner. And I also set the intention for all twin flames to receive healing from this reading. So I'm going to turn the camera towards the cards, and we will dive in. All right, so I've got them all laid out here. Oh, let's see, get my camera straight. Okay, and as always, I will hold up the cards so that you can see them more clearly. Let's see, that's kind of cutting that off. There we go. Sorry, I should have like tested this and lined it up before I started the video, but I think that's pretty good. Okay, so I am using, as far as the decks that I am using, I have the Energy Oracle deck from Sandra Ann Taylor for these energy cards. And then I'm using the Angel Tarot for clarifying cards, and that is by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. And I will finish up at the end with Oracle guidance from the Wisdom of the Golden Path by Tony Carmine Salerno. And then I also have a romance message for us from the Divine Love Letters book. So I will share that as well. So I have the Divine Masculine over on this side and the Divine Feminine on this side, and then the Union energies in the center here. And I will start with, this is the bottom of the deck, and I felt like this was a very card that just really wanted to be seen. So this is storm warning, and it's really interesting because the weather where I live is very, very rainy and gray, and the sky looks very dark and ominous right now. But I just feel like, this is that spring energy, that change of seasons that is going to be sweeping through. And, we see this big tornado here and rain and lightning. And so it's going to be a season of, great change. And like I was saying, it's a time for us to, work on expanding our hearts more and opening up to compassion more and, really seeing any events that come up, asking for change as spiritual guidance and as opportunities for us to, cultivate and create positive change. So yeah, this is a highly, highly transformative time that we are entering into. And this is a number 10, so, when we break down the number 10, it comes to a 1. So even though there will be a lot of change and transformation, there will be new beginnings that will come out of that change, and it will be positive. And, there's pillars here, and the pillars that are still standing strong after the storm blows through is, what is left for your highest good. And the things that crumble and fall away and can't weather the storm are the things that needed to be cleared and are not for your highest good. So, it's trusting that. And, between, I think it's March 8th to April 8th every year, it is this time of year where there's, a lot of change with the seasons. And so, we have to trust that even if there are challenges that come up, that it is part of what is intended for our spiritual growth. Okay, so I'm going to start over here with the Divine Masculine. And I asked Spirit, what is the Divine Masculine thinking in regard to his twin flame connection with his beloved? And the card that came up is the Temple Path. And this card has been coming up a lot in my private readings. And so I wasn't surprised when I saw this come up here for the Divine Masculine's thinking. So, the Divine Masculine, he is really thinking more about what is his life purpose, what is his soul path, what direction does he need to go in, what are his priorities, and this card it has this like spiral path on it, and these stair steps leading up to this big golden, strong, solid structure, dome-like structure. And so this is just an indicator and a reassurance that, you Divine Masculine, you are on your soul path, you are on your spiritual path, you are headed in the right direction, and you are on a path of ascension and awakening. And, it has all of these gold orbs surrounding it. So, the gold orbs represent your, all of the divine support that is surrounding you as you are, moving forward on this path. So ancestral support, cosmic support, angelic support, your spirit guides, your divine team, all of these forms of support that we can't see in the physical world, but they are there, your soul family, your star family, all supporting you in this path, in this journey that is, opening you up spiritually and leading you towards your destiny. And, we see so much beautiful golden energy coming through here. So, you know, there's also an energy of the divine masculine really awakening to not only this higher level of consciousness, but also this unity consciousness, this Christ consciousness, this consciousness of unconditional love, of compassion, and, you know, really growing in his awareness around that. And, you know, this influence of Pisces right now is supporting all of us in, you know, rising up more in our soul's journey and in our soul's purpose and in our mission. And so I just feel like this is really coming through for the divine masculine here. And the clarifying card that came up with this is Unity. So, you know, this would be like the Hierophant, and it is a card about, you know, that unity consciousness, that way of perceiving the world and perceiving connections with others, and perceiving the way that we, you know, look at others and the world through the eyes of a unity consciousness. And so I feel like, you know, this also is pointing to the divine masculine working more with his higher self and working more with his intuition and really opening himself up to receiving that divine support as he's moving towards his destiny. And with the Temple Path card, this is a number 3 when we add up the 1 and the 2, and March is a number 3 month, like I was saying. So, you know, number 3 is all about communication and creativity and expansion. So I feel like the divine masculine is, you know, like I said, really opening up to his spiritual side more and really opening up to what this twin flame journey is. I do feel like a lot of divine masculines are starting to awaken to the twin flame path, or to recognize that they have a deep soul connection with their beloved. And, you know, they are starting to think more about what choices they're making in life from the perspective of their soul, rather than thinking from their ego. And it's really beautiful to see this kind of energy happening in the collective of the divine masculine right now. They've really done a beautiful job of breaking down a lot of the ego type of thinking. And, you know, now he's in a place of really wanting to discover who he is and discover, you know, why he's here, and asking these bigger questions that are coming from his soul. Let's see, and the Unity card is a number 5. So again, it's that change and transformation that is coming through here. And it says, traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, and seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So, you know, the divine masculine may be wanting to connect with more like-minded people, more spiritually minded people, creating new networks of friends that he feels he resonates with more, you know, seeking out spiritual teachers and spiritual mentors that can help guide them on their spiritual path. And I'm also just sensing with this card that a lot of the divine masculine have done a great job of, you know, expanding their thinking beyond the conditioning, the group thought and the conditioning of how they should perceive things, and all of those limiting ideas and limiting beliefs. And they have transcended a lot of that. And that is part of what is helping them, you know, be in this beautiful golden energy of unity consciousness, is transcending all of the limiting thoughts and ideas about, you know, how society has impacted them, or, what family has said, or, whatever ideas have been kind of ingrained in them. They've been able to transcend that and rise above that and start thinking from a higher perspective that is more from a place of unity consciousness and, Christ consciousness. So really beautiful energies happening, and, transformation with this number 5 taking place for the divine masculine. And it's really beautiful to see that transformation happening for him. Okay, so what is the divine masculine feeling in his heart? And so we have 7th chakra with Archangel Uriel. So again, I just keep seeing that scene in Greece, with Danny and Sandy, and it's the divine masculine really opening up spiritually and receiving a lot of this divine cosmic wisdom, like infiltrating into his heart. And Archangel Uriel is known as the flame of God. So, this is like his flame, his twin flame, his, divine love, complement, counterpart, igniting this beautiful connection with Source within his heart, and opening him up to aligning with Source, opening him up to receiving this divine guidance and divine inspiration, and really tapping into, this higher form of wisdom, and feeling that energy moving through his heart space. Just really feeling the flames and the fire burning, the passion burning in his heart. So, it's really beautiful to see that. And again, this is another number 5, the 41 here. So it adds up to a 5. So this is beautiful. These are like flames that are burning in his heart, creating a powerful cleansing and a powerful purification and a powerful transformation. And 41, the number 4 has to do with grounding things onto the physical. So it's just like I was saying, the Pisces energy that we in is like all of that beautiful cosmic spiritual energy, and the Virgo energy is really helping to ground that and bring that into the physical, where he can really feel it physically in his heart. And then the 1, is igniting this new passionate beginning. So really beautiful. And the clarifying card that came up with the 7th chakra Archangel Uriel is the Ace of Fire. So another, flame. We have 2 flames here, the twin flames represented. And, the Ace of Fire is, like the Ace of Wands, it's that burning soul desire. It says an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. So a lot of divine masculines, they are feeling this flame igniting in their heart, and it's creating this passion and this desire and this inspiration to create powerful change in their life. And, depending on, where the divine masculine is in his journey, maybe he's wanting to create change in his career life. Maybe he's wanting to create powerful change within this twin flame divine love connection. Regardless of what it is, it's part of this soul path that he's on of, discovering who he is on a deeper level and opening up to, understanding that he is on a spiritual path and he does have a destiny, and powerfully, moving forward into this new beginning within his heart. And, manifesting powerful change. So it's bringing this divine inspiration into his heart space that is then igniting this new beginning, igniting this passion to create powerful change. Yeah, and I'm noticing too with this Ace of Fire card, it looks like, if you look closely, there's like a big full moon here, and then back behind that it almost looks like there's another orb, like another full moon. So it's just making me think of how March has the 2 full moons, and how this full moon energy within the span of 1 month is going to really ignite a lot of this powerful passion in his heart and this desire to create change. And I'm also, with this Ace of Fire card, it's reminding me about with springtime, that is really, when the sun is gathering more strength, and we are moving into Aries, which is a fire sign, let's see, in a few weeks, I think. So yeah, I just feel like it's just the ignition of spring and the sun getting stronger. And, the masculine is very strongly linked to the sun, just like the feminine is very strongly linked to the moon. So, it's igniting this new, beautiful fire within his heart. And I feel like it's going to give him a lot more confidence and, that real ambition and that forward drive to create positive change. So, really beautiful to see that. Okay, so what is the divine masculine wanting regarding his twin flame connection? And we have cornucopia. And I absolutely love this card. It's just so beautiful, and the energy of it is just this feeling that fullness from within. Just all of this abundance and joy and beauty, and there's nothing more that you could want, like that you have everything you need, and just trusting that everything will be there for you, and just moving into this place of, mental abundance, emotional abundance, and spiritual abundance. So yeah, and it's, this card is also about fulfilling your dreams, fulfilling your wishes, fulfilling your desires. So it's like his heart is being ignited with this divine passion to create new beginnings. And it's going to really help give him the drive and the ambition to start to take those steps to fulfill his dreams and his wishes and his goals. And so he really wants to feel that fullness from within, that abundance from within. And, really feel it in all forms, in terms of his financial life, in terms of his career life, in terms of his home life, in terms of his love life. Just having that complete fulfillment. And, a lot of the divine masculines, they have been working really hard. They have been doing their healing. They have been doing their spiritual work. And I always see this card as just a message from Spirit saying, job well done, and just trust that, you have planted the seeds and the harvest is coming. And you will be acknowledged for your hard work in the form of all of this beautiful abundance. And, whenever I see this card too, I just think about, all of this divine light and all of this divine guidance, like flowing down. And, it goes back to how the veil is thin right now. So it's a lot of illumination, a lot of downloads, a lot of, divine inspiration coming through. And there's like a butterfly right here. a white butterfly, you know, representing that powerful change and transformation that comes from this divine love, and that the white represents the purification, the soul purification. And this is a number 11, so, you know, we have that number of awakening, that number of, this is a master number of the master teacher. And so I think a lot of divine masculine, they are awakening to the fact that, you know, they have a destiny and they have a mission. They have, you know, something bigger than them that is calling them to create change in their life so that they can, you know, be this spiritual teacher and share their light and share their gifts with others. And that is part of what the number 11 is about, and it's about manifestation. And when we add the 1 and the 1, we get the number 2, which represents the divine partnership. And these divine love connections are what spark all of this beautiful abundance. And, you know, twin flames are blessed with abundance. So it's really beautiful to see this. And the page of water is the clarifying card. So the page of water, it says intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person enters your life, a relationship begins a new phase, and heightened psychic abilities. So, you know, like I was saying, I feel like a lot of the divine masculine are starting to really open up to their spiritual gifts. They are starting to realize that they are highly sensitive, they are empathic. You know, they feel things deeply. They can sense other people's energies, or when they walk into a room, they can feel a vibe. You know, they're highly attuned. And so those spiritual gifts are going to start to grow and expand and be more and more activated. And then, you know, this is about starting a new phase in a relationship. So, you know, it's about reaching out and extending that cup of love, reaching out and extending an offer of love. And the page of water, you know, the page is like, you know, the young apprentice, as opposed to, say, like the king of water. You know, the king is very mature and very strong and confident, and the page is like just the beginning, just the new apprentice that is learning. So it's a phase of, you know, a lot more vulnerability and tenderness, and you know, being in that place of extending the cup of love from a very vulnerable, tender-hearted place. But he's doing it because he wants to create this life of his dreams, and he wants the abundance, and he wants the beauty of all of it. So it's really beautiful to see that. Okay, so what is the divine feminine thinking about in regard to her twin flame connection? And 2 cards came out, so I will grab both of them. And so what I was getting with these cards is that the divine feminine is really shifting out of a lot of old thought patterns, and I feel like a lot of this has to do with these eclipses that we had in the end of January, when we had that blue moon eclipse, and then in February we had a new moon with a partial solar eclipse. So all of that eclipse energy has really supported the divine feminine in shifting out of old thought patterns that were not serving her. So what I was really getting with these 2 cards is that, you know, the divine feminine has been very, very focused in her thinking on her divine masculine. And, you know, she has really had him on her mind and this connection on her mind, and almost like in an obsessive kind of a way, you know, and as a collective now, the Divine Feminine is starting to really shift out of that. I think, you know, a lot of Divine Feminine have probably moved out of that obsessive thinking for quite some time now. But, you know, we're looking at this in terms of the collective. So collectively, I just feel that the Divine Feminine, and, you know, it goes back to the Grease scene. I'm sorry I keep repeating that, but it just keeps coming back to me. But, you know, Sandy was like so focused on Danny, you know, and it's like she was more in the quote unquote like chaser kind of role. And, you know, so the Divine Feminine, she's kind of been in that chaser kind of energy and thinking a lot about this connection and her masculine and union and when is it going to happen and on and on and on. And, you know, now she's starting to shift her energy, and I think that this spring energy is really going to give her this powerful forward movement. So she's going to start taking more action in her own life and, you know, shift her thinking to where she's starting to think more about herself and her own needs and her own life purpose, her own soul purpose, her soul mission. And, you know, shift her focus off of the masculine. And it's not to say, you know, she's not going to think of him anymore. You know, the connection is still there and she still wants all of that. But it's just not thinking of it in like that obsessive kind of a way where it becomes like all consuming. And, you know, moving into that place of more like, you know, I'm going to start putting my needs first and my priorities first, and I'm going to start looking at how I can create positive change within my own life, and I'm going to, you know, have like this beautiful, fresh, clean, new start. And maybe it's something simple like just going back to what I was talking about with Virgo, of like starting to think about her health and starting to think about her exercise and starting to think about getting more physical body movement. And we see these horses like moving through this field. You know, maybe it's just going to be taking more action in the physical world towards creating her own dreams and her own desires, and, you know, getting things in order in the home, doing some spring cleaning. Maybe it's doing a physical detox, a body detox, and just cleaning up your diet. Yeah, you know, whatever resonates with you, but this is just really beautiful energy to see the Divine Feminine, you know, like these horses are moving away from the masculine. And it's not to say that, you know, it's literally like walking away from the connection, because like I was saying, the connection cannot be broken. It is eternal and it's still there. It's just shifting out of the obsessive thinking and moving into, you know, this place of really looking at moving forward within her own life. Maybe it's, you know, taking some classes and learning something new, or exploring new hobbies, getting in action with her creativity. I know for me, I'm really wanting to shift my focus more and more into doing more of my spiritual painting, my channel paintings. And yeah, so just think about, you know, however that resonates for you. And the clarifying card that came up with these was 10 of Fire. And so, you know, this is kind of like that energy of burnout. So I think a lot of Divine Feminines kind of just reached a stage where it was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm just burned out from like thinking about this so much and wondering what's going on with him and where is he and what is he doing and when are we coming into union. And it just starts to get like overwhelming in your mind, and you just kind of reach this state of mental burnout. It says, too much work, accept help from others, life is out of balance, stress-related health concerns. So yeah, I think that the Divine Feminine is really coming into a beautiful place of balance, mentally. And this is part of the self-mastery, is mastering those thoughts and not letting it like be all-consuming to where you are reaching like a state of like mental burnout and fatigue from thinking about it so much. And I'm noticing too that there's a lot of red with, the masculine holding the red heart, and he has all of these red blossoms around him, and, the red in the Ten of Fire and the image of fire and red. So, I feel like with the red, that's relating to the first chakra, which is, that part of us that is rooting us into the physical world and putting down those roots and really getting grounded and really taking action in the physical world, just like these horses running through this green grass here. And so it's really beautiful to see, and it's just a shift of focus, of shifting her mental energy into a place of, I'm going to like really start taking action in my own life and focus on myself and focus on, making stuff happen, moving towards living my dreams and sharing my gifts and, moving into my soul purpose. And with a 45, that's adds up to a number 9. So again, it's like this cycle in the mind that is coming to a state of completion. And, with the 10 of Fire too, it's coming to a completion and then, moving into a new beginning. The 10 breaks down to a 1. And then with the 17, it's that number 1 again for a new beginning on the spiritual path, with a number 7 representing the spiritual path. And the 1 and the 7 add up to an 8, which represents powerful forward movement. And we see that coming through with the horses running through this field here. So yeah, I thought that those were really beautiful, powerful cards coming through with transformation taking place in the Divine Feminine's mind. And I'm just noticing too with this card, it's a 45, so another 5 there for the transformation and change, and the number 4 for really grounding that onto the physical plane. So yeah, and it's like, now the masculine is the one who, he's like sitting here like holding the heart and, feeling all this passion ignited in his heart for his beloved. And, and then the Divine Feminine is just like, yeah, I'm going to do my thing and I'm going to do my artwork, or I'm going to shine my light and I'm going to start teaching classes and I'm going to, whatever that is, just diving into your passions and whatever like really nourishes your soul and nourishes your body, and like, just do you. So yeah, really cool. Okay, so what is the Divine Feminine feeling in her heart? And so we have Door to Spirit. So, the Divine Feminine is feeling this opening taking place in her heart that is, opening up this doorway to, a new beginning in her spiritual path. And it's really, her rising up, moving through this portal, moving through this gateway. And like I was saying, we have Virgo at 11 degrees and Pisces at 11 degrees. So it's creating this energy of manifestation and moving through a gateway. And so the Divine Feminine is really, rising up in her ascension and going through transformation and change within her heart as well. And I'm noticing this is a 32, so that adds up to 5. And then we have in the Divine Masculine's heart space, we have a 41, which adds up to a 5. So there's some mirroring going on here. And the Divine Masculine is, really receiving a lot of these divine downloads, really connecting with spirit and source, receiving this divine guidance and inspiration in his heart. And the Divine Feminine is really opening up to a new beginning spiritually within her heart space. And, both of them are undergoing a lot of transformation and change within the heart. And like I said, March is going to be a month where, there could be some sensitive communication happening in your connection, or some kind of events or, things that are going to prompt change. But it's going to be an opportunity for positive change and opening up our hearts even more, to each other, and spiritually opening up our hearts more to Source and to the universe. And it's just really beautiful to see that energy in our hearts. So this is taking the feminine into a new place of a deeper spiritual maturity within her heart. And, like I was saying, February assisted us in releasing the past. So I feel like, this new beginning of spiritual maturity taking place in her heart is part of, the result of all of the releasing that we've been doing in January and February. And it's just this heart purification. It's so beautiful and so divinely guided. And the clarifying card that came up with this is the Two of Water, which would be like the Two of Cups. And, the Two of Cups is about forging deeper bonds, with a loved one. And so, let's see, it says a relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, and the positive resolution of conflict. So I just feel like a lot of divine feminines, really released a lot of the past, the stuff that weighed heavy in the heart, the heartache, the pain, the sorrow, the grief from, everything that has transpired in the past. And, it's creating space for that forgiveness. And being able to see her divine masculine through the eyes of compassion, through that forgiveness, and realizing that, this journey is challenging no matter what end of it you're on, and we're like a team and we're all doing the best that we can. And it's not easy for the divine masculine and it's not easy for the divine feminine. But, we are all on the spiritual path, and we are all, finding our way through these doorways, through the challenges, and rising up. And, so I just feel like this feeling in the divine feminine's heart of finally coming to a place of, like, closure and understanding and compassion and resolution, and just really wiping the slate clean and being ready to, like, forge new bonds and step into a new beginning within the connection. A new beginning that is going to lead to deeper intimacy and, deeper understanding between them. So it's really beautiful. Okay, so what is the divine feminine wanting regarding her twin flame connection? And the card that came up is Patience. And, I think we had this card actually come up for the divine masculine in the last collective reading that I did. And, this is a journey that, challenges us to be in this place of patience and compassion and understanding on both sides. And, she's holding this clock here. And so it's that reminder of divine timing. And I'm also noticing that it looks like there's a big full moon behind her. And so we see that full moon energy coming in, and, this is like an angel of winter, and I feel like this clock is almost like the wheel. It's like the wheel is turning, and we are moving out of the stillness and the kind of feeling of like stuckness and feeling frozen and like nothing is happening. And we are moving out of that as the seasons change, and the wheel is turning, and things are going to start to, turn green. I know here we're just getting all of this rain, and I have beautiful purple little crocuses popping up in my yard and my grass, and pretty soon everything's just going to be like that beautiful, bright, fresh spring green. And yeah, so I just feel like the Divine Feminine is wanting to be in this place where she can feel completely balanced and completely like at peace within herself, and just have like that mental balance and that emotional balance, and just really allow things to unfold, and to not be in that place of like needing to push it or control it or force it, but just being flexible and going with the flow and trusting and allowing. And being in that place is what really, allows the infinite possibilities for things to happen. And it's part of what opens us up to being able to receive more and expand out of that and open up to even more. And, this card is really asking us to be in the present moment. And I feel like it goes back to, this action card, where it's like, the more that we can get into action and pursue our creative gifts, open up our spiritual gifts, pursue our soul's purpose, our soul's mission, and get out in the world and start shining our light and making stuff happen, that is when time starts to fade away. And, if we're just sitting there like single-mindedly, like focused on, what is the Divine Masculine thinking, and what is he doing, and when are we coming into union, and, having that really narrow focus, then it is hard to be patient, because it's just like we're not expanding our perception and widening that out to where, we are allowing ourselves to be in that place of infinite opportunities and opening ourselves up to receiving and allowing it to come to us. And yeah, so I just feel like being in that creative space, I know for me, when I'm engaging in something creative, then all time just melts away and I just go into the zone. So whatever that is for you, maybe, it's exercising puts you in the zone, or baking puts you in the zone, or knitting puts you in the zone, or swimming, or walking in nature, whatever that means for you. I just feel like that would be a really great way to, not be stuck in this, when is it going to happen kind of energy. And there were a couple of clarifying cards that came out with the Patience card. And it's Balance and the Dreamer. So I feel like that goes back to, what I was saying, where it's finding that balance, that mental balance, that emotional balance in the heart, finding that balance between the spiritual world and the physical world, and, taking some time to meditate, and also taking some time to put things into action. Let's see, it says the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, wait for perfect timing. So again, it goes back to just trusting and allowing that things are unfolding and they will come together when they're meant to. And in the meantime, hey, you might as well have fun and enjoy exploring your creative gifts and your spiritual gifts. And, we have the Dreamer here. So this is about being in that place of deep faith and trust. It says, a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. And it's really when we are in that, 0 point energy of being in our creative zone, whatever that looks like for you, that then unexpected opportunities come our way. And the universe will surprise us, and it's exciting, and it becomes more of an adventure instead of that feeling of pushing and exhausting yourself and burnout of trying to make things come together. It's just, being in this place of balance, enjoying the inner peace, and going after your dreams and allowing the universe to work with you and being in that place of co-creation. It's reminding me of a funny story of something that happened to me yesterday where I was, I'm an artist, and so I hang artwork at different businesses in the city near where I live. So since yesterday was the end of the month, I had to go to the city and I changed out, my art displays in the different businesses that I was showing my work at. And one of them was a city building. And so I'm hanging up my artwork, and this man comes from out of nowhere. He was 70 years old, white hair and a bright red shirt. And, he started asking me about my artwork. And he said, well, I'm a magician. And, there's a lot that artists and magicians have in common, and we talked about using illusion and the sleight of hand, where he said, he makes big gestures and, draws your eye over here so you're not looking over there. And anyway, we got into this really deep conversation, and then he said he was a mentalist, and he grabbed my hand and he did a reading on me. And it was just so amazing, the details that he was picking up on. And yeah, so it made my day so magical. And I never in a million years would have thought of that. And I just was kind of laughing to myself because I was thinking about the magician card and the tarot and how he's wearing that big red cloak. And here I have this cute old man wearing this bright red shirt and says he's a magician. And the universe can just be such a magical place. And when we open ourselves up to infinite possibilities and we're just in the moment and we're focused on what we love, magical things happen. So anyway, I just thought I would share that. Okay, so let's look at the union energies. So we have 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael. So, the 4th chakra, that is that heart chakra, and we see all of this beautiful, soft green and pink energy, and even some of this blue teal energy, which resonates with the cosmic heart, the higher heart. And, this is just what I was describing about the heart openings that are going to be happening for us this month, and that it's going to be creating this beautiful feeling of compassion, and that I just see a lot of twins coming together and having sensitive communication and talking about things from a place that's really open-minded, and from a place that's very heart-centered, and from a place that's, having that compassion, that beautiful compassion for each other within the heart. As soon as I saw this card come out, I heard the word compassion. And, we see this beautiful disc radiating with all of this light at Archangel Raphael's heart. And Archangel Raphael, he is the angel that assists us with, healing and harmony in relationships. And, and if this doesn't happen with your twin, then it could happen with a family member, it could happen with a friend, or it could happen through a coworker. But, this is the energy that is going to be coming up in our connections. And it's really beautiful. And it might be a little bit stormy with the storm card here. There could be, you know, some challenge in it, but it's going to be an opportunity to create positive change. And this is a 38, which is an 11. And the 3 representing, you know, that communication. 3 also represents that expansion, heart expansion. And then, you know, with the 8, that is that infinite love, the infinity when we turn the 8 onto its side. And just representing this eternal bond that is just so beautiful and everlasting. And so, yeah, another number 11 here. And we are in an 11 year. 2018 is an 11 year. And we have the cornucopia here too. So we have 1111. So powerful time of manifestation, of balancing, of building our awareness, of rising up in our soul's purpose as twin flames, as master teachers, and opening up our hearts to ourselves, having compassion for ourselves, and having compassion for others, and having compassion for our twin. And it's going to lead to beautiful heart healing. And then the clarifying cards, there were 2 that came out. We have 5 of Earth and King of Earth. So what I was getting with these 2 cards is, you know, that this heart opening and this compassion that is going to be cultivated in our connection over the course of March, it's going to assist us in moving out of this 5 of Earth energy, which is like 5 of Pentacles, into this King of Earth energy. You know, the 5 of Earth is that energy of like feeling left out in the cold, feeling lost on your spiritual path, kind of a mindset of lack, feeling sorry for oneself. In the traditional tarot deck, it's 5 of Pentacles, and we see the image of like a man who looks wounded and he's on crutches and they're out in the cold, but behind them is like a cathedral with warm light shining through a stained glass window. And so I feel like, you know, a lot of us are really going to be letting go. This is like that kind of separation consciousness. And we are really moving into this beautiful unity consciousness where we are moving out of the feelings of lack, of victimhood, and we are moving into this beautiful mindset of abundance and longevity and loyalty, responsibility, you know, really rising up into that king energy where it's like having that great sense of responsibility and commitment. Let's see, the 5 of Earth card says fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, and uncertain self-employment, which I think just means like feeling like you're on shaky ground. And then the King of Earth says generous, professional, responsible, practical. A successful time, confidently accept opportunities that you are offered. The Midas touch. And, you know, the Midas touch is, you know, anything that you touch turns to gold, and gold represents that Christ consciousness, that unity consciousness of recognizing yourself in every person that you meet and realizing that you are connected to everything. And, just really rising up in your king energy, your queen energy, and moving out of this place of like feeling sorry and sad and lonely and isolated and, you know, woe is me, and really rising up into this amazing, powerful, strong, energy of responsibility and commitment and the desire to, you know, stand in your divinity and embrace all of this abundance. And, the King of Earth, he is also, very practical, very down to earth, And he's also like the real deal, like very loyal, very responsible, and he will be there by your side, you know, and you can count on him. He's reliable. Yeah, and I'm just noticing there's a lot of little butterflies in here. A yellow butterfly for the solar plexus and confidence, and a blue butterfly for that throat chakra communication, and this beautiful rainbow in the background, which is representing, you know, that unity consciousness. So really beautiful messages here. I think this is just, you know, very magical time that we are moving into. Okay, so I will do a romance message really quick here. And I am using the Divine Love Letters book, which is available on Amazon. It is soul to soul, twin flame to twin flame, channeled letters. And this is book number 2. There are 3 different books out. And so I was guided to letter number 182. Wow, which adds up to a number 11. So how cool is that? Okay, so as I'm reading this, then just pretend that this is a message to you from your beloved. And it says, I am excited. I'm excited about seeing how our plans are all going to come to life, how our jigsaw pieces are going to fit. I am seeing a lighthouse jigsaw in front of me, and the only pieces that are missing are on the top. We are waiting for us to all come together so we can place the last parts of the jigsaw puzzle together. It's the part that shows how brightly our light is going to beam out of the top of the lighthouse, and how far our light will reach. We've only got a few pieces left to go before we get to complete our puzzle. Hang in there. So, I just love that because my divine masculine, he loves lighthouses and he likes to take pictures of lighthouses when he travels. And for me, I have always thought of myself as being like the light in the lighthouse. And I'm shining my light and, you know, stepping into my purpose, sharing my gifts. And all of that is like me being the lighthouse for his soul to help guide him home. And, you know, I just did a teaching video where I was sharing about, you know, how important it is for us to come into balance and that we are like jigsaw pieces. And, you know, we can't come together until our jigsaw pieces are like the perfect fit. So I really like that letter. It just fits a lot with like signs and synchronicities of things that I've had going on in my connection. So, okay, I'm going to wrap up really quick with a couple of oracle cards to just, you know, tie the reading together. And I pulled a card for the masculine and the feminine. So for the masculine, we have don't compromise. In the book it says, true wisdom stands the test of time, and your decision not to compromise on something you truly believe is a wise one. Sometime soon there is a magical occurrence, and through a series of unexpected but interrelated events, your world changes for the better. This is all a direct result of the strength and commitment that you have shown towards something you believe in. You will soon reap the rewards, and your strength and strong commitment will serve both you and others well. And then there's affirmations. It says, true wisdom is what I feel through the heart of love. True wisdom stands the test of time. So this just really resonates I was seeing a couple of different cards from the reading in my mind's eye as I was reading that. And, I was really seeing this 7th chakra with Archangel Uriel, where it's talking about, the divine guidance that is coming through and igniting the heart, and, the divine masculine really choosing to not compromise on what is true to his soul, and not letting anything or anyone or old thoughts or beliefs be an obstacle, really trusting in the higher wisdom and the higher guidance and the spiritual knowledge that he's receiving, and not compromising what he really wants, what his soul wants. And then the other card that I was seeing was this King of Earth, where it was talking about that strong level of commitment and how he is committed to his soul's path. So I really feel like this card is just so perfect for the Divine Masculine. Okay, and then for the Divine Feminine, we have emotions. And so we see this beautiful mermaid, and she's deep in the water, feeling deep emotion. So I'm going to read from the book, and it says, "A pool of suppressed emotions lies trapped within you, and it is time to release them. There is no need to worry. You can do this safely. It is beneficial for you to express your feelings. Allow them to surface. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. The best medicine is to empty yourself of everything. This is a time for healing old wounds, a time for renewal, a time of profound and positive transformation. The raging sea of emotions will soon abate, and love will fill your heart. Courage, strength, and patience are required. You are supported by the sea of divine light that surrounds you. The current events are being driven by invisible wheels of love, and you are immersed in a great ocean of light." I think I'm going to read that last sentence again. The current events are being driven by invisible wheels of love, and you are immersed in a great ocean of light. And the affirmations are, a great and positive transformation is occurring in my life. It is safe for me to be in touch with my emotions. It is safe for me to express my feelings. So I feel like, this really relates to these energies coming up here for the Divine Feminine in her heart. And, like I said, I feel like for some twins, there could be some really sensitive communication coming up in the month of March. And, it's an opportunity for the Divine Feminine to really, open up to her feelings. And the beauty of feeling the feelings, that is how you clear it. That is how you release it. That is how you heal it. And it's going to really open up this beautiful new door to spirit within the heart. And it's going to be, cleansing and purifying, and it's going to lead to this beautiful, deeper bond in your connection with the Two of Cups. So, it can be scary sometimes to let ourselves be vulnerable and feel our feelings. We have the Divine Masculine has this Page of Water, which is about vulnerability too. So, like I said, this could be a very sensitive time for a lot of twin flames. So if that is you, just know that, this is not the time to hold back your feelings and repress your feelings and stuff them down. Allow it to come up and just know that you are safe. Ask for protection. Ask Archangel Raphael to come in and work with you and to assist you in healing your heart. And, the storm will pass. Storms are water too, and water is emotion. And, so just be gentle with yourself and know that even though it's going to be challenging, it will also be positive and it will lead to beautiful things. So I hope that this reading was helpful for you and that it gave you some guidance and clarity in your journey. If you would like to book a private reading, I have a 1-hour reading where I do this spread. And it really allows you to see the energies in your, one-on-one connection with your twin. And then I also have a 20 to 25 minute reading and a 40 to 45 minute reading, so you can pick a reading that fits your budget. So anyway, if you feel guided, then I would love to support you in your journey. And I am sending you all so much love and so much light, and wishing you many blessings for March. Take care. Bye-bye.